Salutations, friends. It's your pal, said Stevie, and follow along, if you will, whilst I ramble on this bad mamma jamma right here from Tuya Knives. This is The Wrath. And if you haven't picked up on the excitement in my voice, Tuya done did it again. I am digging The Wrath. Let's get some specs out of the way here. So, this is a titanium frame lock folding pocket knife with an overall length of 7.75 inches. This is a nice compound ground satin drop point S90V blade measuring in at 3.35 inches, meaning that the handle is right around 4.25 inches. You have thumb studs on either side of the blade, and you already saw me give it a nice front flip. So front flipper, thumb studs for deployment. This comes in a couple of different flavors. This happens to be the frag pattern, the stonewashed or bead blasted frag pattern. They did toss on a what I think is a Damascus pivot collar for a little pop of color. T8 hardware all around. This is a captured pivot, I believe. You have a hole for a lanyard, a titanium backspacer, and then a 3D milled titanium pocket clip, non-reversible, so sorry for you lefties. And then some more T8 hardware, and then showing that captured Tuya logoed pivot there. And then you see DW and S90V on the blade. I believe DW is for Dave Warren, who is the designer of the knife. This is frame lock, as I mentioned, riding on caged ceramic bearings. You got pretty solid lockup there. Easy to access the lock bar, and they did something that I really like. They gave you good access to the lock bar, and they put some jimping on there. So good on them for that. This is, as I mentioned, riding on ceramic bearings, and it's smooth, very smooth. It came dead centered. Hold on, I got a call coming in. Dang it. Sorry about that, folks. But yes, it is dead centered. This is brand new out of the box. I was the first one to get this in the Apex Pass Around group, which, by the way, shout out to the Apex Pass Around group and Tuya Knives for sending this along. I should have mentioned that off the top, but I did not. But yes, it is very smooth. You already saw me give it a front flip. The action is good to go. It falls right to the nail. A little shake shut and it's home. Thumb stud, you got to get up underneath it a little bit, but it fires out. Detent is absolutely dialed for the thumb stud. And can I flick it? Well, yes, I can. One of the gripes that I have that I'll discuss is on the thumb studs themselves, but I go over that in just a second. The detent's dialed in for the front flipper. You can come over the top like I like to. You can traditional front flip it. You can do that little thing that I see people do sometimes, which I don't get. But thumb stud, no problem. Middle finger flick. Not so much left-handed. Obviously, you can, or I can, on the thumb stud. I cannot flick it left-handed. It seems a little lock bar sensitive. But front flipping it, no problem. So, I don't know. If you're left-handed, I think you still might be able to enjoy this knife. It is pretty wicked sharp. Let me grab my paper. So, this is some receipt paper. And you can see It came very sharp right out of the box. No issues whatsoever with the sharpness on there, which is good because it's a knife that needs to be sharp, right? You hope that it always comes sharp, but they don't always do that. This one did, however. So I think I covered all the basics there. I think you're getting a lot of good value with everything that I just showed off. These are listed on White Mountain Knives right now for $249. Again, there's a couple different flavors. You got the bronze frag pattern with a DLC blade. You have the Sigourney Weaver, the Segaha pattern also for $249. And then this variant as well. And then if you use one of the discount codes, you're going to save yourself about $25 or so, bringing this knife down to about $225. I don't think that's a bad price at all. At least I believe you can use the code. Let me check real quick. All right, so let's see if we can do this. I'm going to use coupon TLR10. Shout out to Gary, the Last Ranger. Let's see what this does. Yes, it did bring down the price. Yeah, to $224.10, and you get free shipping. But you can use whatever code you want. I always use TLR10, but you could use Stevie 10. You could use Keister 10. There's plenty of people have their own White Mountain Knife discount codes. So, but $224.10 for this bad boy. I think that that's a phenomenal price for this knife. I really do. A couple of gripes. And let me back up. This is not a gripe. I just wanted to point out that as I got this and I was messing around with it, I realized this is definitely giving me RR standard vibes. They're just very similar-ish. Plenty of differences, but I did get picked up some vibes. The RR standard isn't a front flipper, and that has contoured scales. But I did get those vibes from that. A very similar blade, but I guess you could say it's Chavez-esque also. And that's one of the things before I get into the gripes. I was going to say, in all honesty, as badass as a Chavez is, I think you save some money and get the Tuya Wrath. It's the Wrath. In my opinion, it's a pretty sick knife. But for the couple of gripes that I have, one, although the jimping works great on the front flipper, I'd love to see that jimping extending up into that swedge, just so you got some good jimping up there. I think that would be would have been a nice touch to have. Second, the thumb studs, I think need a little bit more knurling on there, in my opinion. I do slip off from time to time. I don't know if I've already done. Well, I just did it there. I have slipped off a couple times, but that's just a personal preference, really. I don't slip off more often than I do. Or wait a minute. I don't slip off more often than I don't slip off all that often. I can't formulate a sentence with that. But yeah. And then lastly, the pocket clip. I like once it's in pocket, it's good to go. But if you're wearing thicker jeans, I wear off-grid and 511s and Vertex jeans. They got a little bit thicker denim. This has a hard time getting over the thicker denim. And it's a little bit of a pocket shredder. And it gets hung up just a little bit just because you see how it's placed. So if you wear thinner jeans, I don't think it's going to be a problem. But I am able to get it in and out one-handed. It's just, it's not the greatest. And other than that, I think it's good to go. Oh, I didn't even mention how light this sucker is. It's pretty light. Also, the serial number is inside there. I don't know if you can see it, but this is number 93 of 172. But there is a ton of milling on the pocket clip side scale. And I think it said that this thing's coming in at 3.8 ounces. So you don't have that ounce per inch blade there. But it's pretty light. I do like that. And that's it, man. I give this 2 thumbs up. Is it something that I'm going to rush out and purchase? No, it's not. And you keep hearing me say it. I'm just really, really, really picky right now. But actually, as I'm talking about it, I just might. It's a definitely maybe. I digress. One more nitpick. I was going to say, I think they should have incorporated the lanyard, put in like a lanyard post in the backspacer instead of sticking another hole in the knife there. Just wanted to point that out there. So, a couple little nitpicks. But am I going to rush out and get this? I told myself no, but as I'm, getting ready to box this up and send it back, maybe I will. I don't know. I really am digging it, and I think that that's a great price. So we shall see. We shall see, folks. But if you ask me what I think of this, I absolutely give it the 2 thumbs up. I can recommend this knife all day. And I dig Tuya. If I didn't mention before, I've had the Big Belly in for review. I really like the Big Belly. That's the crossbar lock integral. Carbon fiber integral. I really dug that. And then I recently had in, over the last couple months, the NV4 with the purple haze fat carbon. I really dug the NV4. So Dave Warren is designing some bangers. There's been a couple of other Tuya knives that I've dug. I checked out a couple more while I was at Blade Show. They were like right next to CDC, if I'm not mistaken. But I dig what Tuya's got going on, and they're bringing some value for sure. I do not know who the OEM is on this. I didn't see it disclosed anywhere. It's obviously an overseas production knife. If I had to guess, I would say maybe Bestech. But then I don't know. I can't say for certain, but I would guess Bestech. But again, I could be wrong. And that's all I got for you now, folks. I think I have rambled on long enough. Let me know what you guys think. Are you digging the Wrath? I do. I think I don't get excited about a lot of knives as of late, and I had a feeling I was going to like this one, which is why I signed up for it, and it didn't disappoint. So, that's all. Let me know what you guys think. Appreciate you tuning in. Give me a thumbs up or a thumbs down, depending on what you thought of the video. You can absolutely subscribe right here if you haven't already, and then why don't you go ahead and check out that video right there if you haven't already. And until the next one, I'm going to go ahead and bid you mofos adeuces.